Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of the Ugly Money Podcast, brought to you by Jack Clothing. Buy one, get one free on all HBCU caps and apparel. You can follow them at Jack Clothing Brands, Jack Brands online right now on Instagram. Now, you know, before we get this show started, and I'm coming to y'all early today, we need to get those likes up and drop them cities and locations right now, because I got a show for y'all today. Oh, man. Go ahead and drop them cities and locations. For those that don't know, I have the worldwide coach. He went from $0 to millions. Wholesaling houses. It's a man that can give you a whole bunch of game. It's a man that's going to hold you accountable for your action. I like to call him a high value brother. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, introducing to some, reintroducing to others. Alex Inman is here. What's up, my brother?
Man, I'm fantastic.
I try to give you the best intro you ever got.
Man, listen, before you give me an intro,
yes, sir.
I came in and I said I had something for you.
Yeah.
The thing I've understand in life is you get what you give,
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
The more you put in, the more you get out.
Right.
So how I even got to this point was all the work and all the dedication that I put in for years.
Amen.
I'm just now recouping on the achievements within the past few years of all the works that I've been doing for the previous 10 years.
Wow.
So most people don't get, if you want to get somewhere in life, you're going to have to put some work in first.
Most definitely.
Because everybody works no different from a seed that you put in the ground. That seed has to grow into a tree, but those roots have to grow first. It has to be watered. It has to be cultivated. And then years later, it grows into a big tree. And that's the same with human beings.
Amen.
So I understand you get what you give. So I want to give you a gift for bringing me out here.
Oh, man.
So, listen,
I don't get gifts a lot.
Listen, I don't know if you have a wife or a girlfriend, but if you don't, this right here will get you one step closer. This right here is what we call Le Labo. This is my favorite cologne. This is from Paris.
Come on.
Kevin Samuels used to always talk about this.
Shouts out to K. Shouts out to the Godfather.
So Kevin used to always talk about this. This is some of the most prestigious colognes you can get, and I actually have it on right now.
Yes, sir.
So when you put that on, you one step closer to finding that girl that you've been looking for.
Man, I got me some. Brother, thank you, brother. Thank you. You know,
You're welcome.
Unfortunately, the life of a man a lot of times is an unsung life. You
That's
know,
right.
A lot of people don't give us a lot.
That's right.
They always come to take it.
Right.
But very few come to give, brother.
Yes,
so I really appreciate that, man. And anything the Godfather used to love, God dang it, I love it too. So, before we get too far into the episode, brother, who was Alex Inman before you became the Alex Inman that we know today?
Man, I was a guy just chasing the dream. I got into sales 12 years ago, fresh out of college. It's funny, I was talking to my guy Adam, who was here, and as we were coming down here, I used to live off of Highway 85 in Riverdale, Georgia.
Come on.
In a little apartment. My rent was $525 a month.
Ooh, boy, what you live in, Camelot?
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm taking y'all back.
Yes, sir. Talk about it, sir.
My rent was $525 a month. I was driving a Ford Fusion. I had a one-bedroom apartment. I was eating chicken and rice. I was always shopping at the Walmart down the street. And here it is. I get into sales, selling cable, commission only. So for the past 12 years, I have never gotten a paycheck for the past 12 years. Every dollar that I've earned is from my efforts. So I started my career in sales, on the sales floor. And if anybody's ever seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street, has anybody ever seen that movie?
Of course, of course.
I was on a sales floor like that for 7 years.
Wow.
For 7 years, I was on a sales floor like that, to where you go into the office, you got the manager, he's running the meeting like Jordan Belfort used to run, and then you got all the sales guys on the sales floor, right? I was one of the sales guys in the sales floor.
Now, you know, the interesting thing about sales is, especially when you're in commission base, is the fact that you have no choice but to produce. Because if you don't produce, you don't eat.
That's right.
Is that something that you still hold true today?
That right there is a superpower that most human beings are missing today, which is if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So if you really want something,
Right.
well, it's most likely going to be up to you. There's nobody going to give it to you,
Right.
especially some extraordinary life that you want to live. That's up to you. So when you ask, well, how did Alice get here today? Well, it started on that sales floor, understanding that if I wanted something, I had to go get it.
Come on, brother.
Nobody was going to give it to me. Especially if you're somebody out here want to make a lot of money. If you want to make a lot of money, that's up to you. Nobody's giving you a lot of money. You're going to have to convince somebody to give you a lot of money. In order to convince somebody to give you a lot of money, you need some type of value, or you need to have some type of skill set for them to be able to want to pay you that.
Free game alert.
I love it.
So most people don't understand the money that you make right now is a direct reflection of the value that you bring to the marketplace. So if you ain't making a lot of money, you ain't got much value, homeboy. You got to get better. So I recommend all young guys that come out of college or out of high school to get into sales. And most people be like, well, I got to have a safety net and this and that. Bro, the only safety net is your attitude.
Come on. You know, because, you know, what's crazy is people think that these regular 9-to-5 jobs are invincible.
Right.
Like there isn't somebody at the top level, you know, betting on himself.
Right.
And so they get a job and they feel the security, the safety of a paycheck.
Right.
And I've always said, you know, a job is just a way of a person paying you to forget your dream.
That's right. And understand this, there's nothing wrong with having a job
Facts.
or anything like that. But what having a job does is it takes the wings that you have on your back and it ties them. They tie up your wings, because if you're never pushed off the cliff to figure out how to fly, well, you don't need to use your wings.
Come on, brother.
So most people aren't pushed off the cliff.
That ugly
I got pushed off the cliff summer 2012.
And so you had no choice.
I had no choice. And this is what I mean by no choice. Most people be like, well, yeah, you do. You could have went and got a job. No, I didn't have a choice. I was on unemployment for 4 months. I was living in Riverdale, Georgia, off of Highway 85, and I was on unemployment for 4 months. I was looking for work. In summer 2012, most people don't understand, at that time, it was a funny time in the economy, because we're coming out of that recession in 2008, and a lot of people weren't hiring. Yeah, I had this degree. I had just went to college for 7 years because I had to keep switching schools and you starting and stopping, et cetera, et cetera. But that summer, I realized that this degree shit, like this don't matter. They don't care. They don't care, bro.
You found a cheat code.
Right, they don't care. So here it is. I'm trying to look for work, and I'm on unemployment, and the only company that gives me a shot, the only one that gives me a shot, is that sales company selling cable. They were the only one.
And it forced you.
It forced me. I didn't know what else. Think about it. If you're some young man out of college, you can't go back to your parents, right? You ain't got no girl. You ain't got friends. They all broke, because remember, y'all just got out of college. Everybody in college is broke. Ain't nobody got no money. I got this apartment because right before I graduated, I had this job at an apartment complex. I was working there. I was making $500 a week. And then when they let me go, okay, I go get on unemployment. I'm on unemployment for 4 months. It was just me. It was just me. So me getting that sales job at that time, I'll never forget those years going back. When I was in it, I was like, man, it's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I done went to college all these years. I done bust my ass to get this degree, and here it is, man. I want to get some type of position to where I can work my way up, move my way up in the company. But I didn't understand that I was focused on working my way up, when everything that I was going to learn was at the bottom. I didn't get it. I didn't get that all the skills that I needed to learn to become the person I am today is learned at the bottom. It's learned when you have nothing.
Right. Now, you once said that, and I'm going to try to quote you right, the happiest you ever was when you were broke.
Absolutely. And I'll break that down. There was a point in time in my life to where, at this point, is years later, and you got to think about it. I started my entrepreneur journey in summer 2012, and I went through that business for 7 years. And when you're in something for such a long time, you get used to it. So by this time, I'm used to starting businesses, doing sales. So when I left that industry, I didn't need to go get a job. I could have went out and sold anything. I had the skill set to go out and sell anything. So here it is. Year after year after year, I'm starting businesses. Some of them are failing. Majority of them are failing. And as I'm going through my journey, I'm understanding that it's not the material things. Yeah, I was chasing material possessions, because when you start a business, anybody who starts a business, your whole goal is because you want a better life.
Fact.
You want more money. You want a better, stable of living. You just want better things. Everything needs to be better. It got to a point to where I got hit from the pandemic because I had a business that was based on travel. So summer 2020, I had a business that was based on travel. So when the airlines shut all the planes down, nobody was traveling. Therefore, my business went to zero. So here it is. I'm a 35-year-old man, and I'm at zero. Everything snatched from under me. I can't leave the house. I can't go nowhere. If anybody remembers summer 2020, COVID time, we all stuck in the house.
Oh, boy.
So I couldn't go out and start another business. I couldn't go out and, I just couldn't do anything. And what happened during that time, during that summer, I discovered that it wasn't my environment that dictated my life. It was how I was on the inside. And if I'm the right person on the inside, it doesn't matter what my environment is. So summer 2020, I took my personal development to a level to whereas I was broke, I was living in an Airbnb, and I was driving a rental car, and I was the happiest that I ever was. Because what happened, this is what I used to do. I never forget. I was throwing a pity party all summer 2020. All summer 2020, I'm just throwing a pity party. This is fucked up. This some bullshit. I can't leave. This, that. And then I realized all the training that I had for all those years in sales, all the training that I taught people, all the stuff that I was doing all the way up until that time, I forgot. I was like, hold on. I've been here before. I know what it's like to not have nothing, to be at the bottom. So what I did was I switched on my personal development to 100. This is what I did. I never forget. I got a calendar. And I took this calendar and I put it on the wall of the Airbnb that I was living in. And I told myself, here's the first thing I'm going to do. My goal was to get up by 7 a.m. every morning because I used to always get up late.
Wow.
So what I did was I had a red marker and I had a red marker and a green marker. And every time I would get up by 7 a.m., I would put a green check on the calendar for the day. That was my first win for the day, because I realized if you stack little wins turn into big wins.
Come on.
The only difference between a big shot and a little shot is a big shot is a little shot that kept shooting. A big win is just a bunch of small wins stacked together. So my first win was the day was get up by 7 a.m. My second win for the day, I said, I'm going to read a chapter in the book. So I would get up and I would read a chapter in the book. So here it is. I get up, I read a chapter in the book. I was like, yes, I just read 5 pages. Then I would go to the gym. I would get a workout. I said, yes, got a workout in. I'm 3 wins in for the day.
Come on.
So now it's time for me to come back and work my business. What was the business I was doing? I was wholesaling houses. So I was living in Nashville, Tennessee at this time. So I'm living in Nashville, Tennessee, in downtown Nashville. I'm living in an Airbnb. Why? Is because I don't have a house. I don't have an apartment. I don't have the credit or money to do that. So I was Airbnb in this place. And here it is. I have no money. I have no nothing. But all I do have is I got this headset and I got this laptop and I got this big list of leads that I can call. And my only goal for the day was to call property owners to find out who was willing to sell me their house at a discount. And I did this from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. 7 days a week. Now, what's the mindset? What is the mindset a person needs to have to know that they ain't got no money, no nothing? They're facing eviction because I'm paying this guy for the Airbnb, but I'm 3 months behind now.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay. most people in a situation like that, they would throw a pity party. They would do everything negative. But I understood that I create my environment.
Come on.
So I was doing everything positive. So here it is. I'm cold calling for 12 hours a day, from 9 to 9. And I'm calling, and I'm calling, and I'm calling. I'm getting up every day. I'm getting up by 7 a.m. I'm reading a few chapters in the book, and then I'm going to hit the gym and work out. I got 3 wins for the day. I come back. I get on my laptop. I put on my headset, and I'm cold calling for 12 hours a day. And I never forget, it's in the middle of September. I'm calling. 8:45 at night, I called this lady named Stacy. I'll never forget her. I said, hey, I go through my script. Because by this time, I done said the script thousands of times.
Exactly.
Hey, Stacey, how you doing? This is Alex. Sorry about that. I was calling to see if you was interested in selling your house on 123 Main Street. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I was actually just thinking about selling my house. Yeah. I said, really? I said, well, God just told me to give you a call, Stacey.
There it is.
She started laughing. She said, baby, I appreciate you giving me a call. Call me tomorrow morning. It's late, and we can talk about it. No problem. Click. Called her the next morning. I said, what's going on with your house? She said, I have this house here in Nashville, Tennessee. I raised my family in this house, but I don't live in the house no more because the kids tore it up. I have 2 mortgages on the house, and I'm behind on both mortgages. I start chemotherapy treatment in less than 30 days, and I have to move out of the apartment that I'm in because my lease is up. She says, that's why I want to sell the house. I says, okay. What you want to sell the house for? She says, I want to sell the house for $175. I said, okay. When can we meet there? I said, we can meet at the house this week when I get off work. I met her that Thursday, went to the house, met her, walked the house. I pulled out a contract on the back of my car on the trunk. We signed the contract, $175. And I took that contract. Now, most people would be like, well, Alex, you ain't got $175,000.
Right.
Well, I'm about to break down how wholesaling works.
Come on, baby.
I'm about to break it down. See, what wholesaling real estate is you get a property under contract, you can be dead broke, no money. But if you get a property under contract, Stacy wants to sell me her house for $175,000. Me, Alex Inman, I'm gonna buy the house for $175,000. So Stacy sells the house to Alex Inman for $175,000. We both sign it. This is a contract, right? Right. Well, in the contract, it says I can assign it, which means that I don't have to bring the money. So what I did was I took that contract and I started marketing it to actual fix and flippers in the city of Nashville, Tennessee. Never forget, I'm marketing this property. A guy named Brandon, he says, man, I really like this house. How much you want for it? I said, I want $205 for it. He called me back. He said, can you do $196? I said, give me 5 minutes. I got off the phone with him. I'm like, hell yeah, I can do $196. But I can't make it seem like I'm desperate.
Exactly.
I can't make him seem like I'm desperate. I said, I don't know, Brandon. Give me a few minutes. Let me call you back. Click. I'm like, man, I'm about to fucking get paid, bro. Let's go. Call Brandon back. I talked to my partner. He says, it's tight, but we can do $196 as long as you can close this by the end of the month. He says we can get it done by the end of the month. Brandon didn't know that I was getting evicted October 1st.
Come on, man.
So I needed it to be done by October 1st. Met Brandon. We got the contract signed. Brandon had the money. So what I did was I got a contract with Brandon. So Brandon is buying the house from Alex for $196. So what I did was I found a title company who did these type of transactions. I took the contract with Stacy, I took the contract with Brandon, took it to the title company. They says, okay, boom. What happens is the title company got in contact with Brandon, got in contact with Stacy. On October 1st, Brandon wired in $196,000 to the title company. The title company took $175,000 out of that, gave it to Stacy. Now Stacy could take her money, do what she needs to do, move into her place, etc. And that $21,000 spread went to me. Yeah. That was my first wholesale deal.
Hey, man.
That was October 1st, 2020. Wow. Nietzsche, for the next 8, I said, this is what happened. After I got that check, I never forget I got that check that day, and I went back to my living room to where I had my laptop, headset, the couch, and everything. So I said, okay. I just cold called her. I got this big list of people. I cold called her, asked if she wanted to sell her house. She wanted to sell her house at a discount because she had a problem going on. So I need to find people who got issues with the house, but not necessarily issues with the house. They got issues in life.
Come on.
just in general. So get back on the dialer, keep calling this list, and look for more people like Stacy. I told myself, got it. For the next 18 months, I was doing 60 to 70,000 a month, like clockwork,
Free game.
wholesaling houses. November came, I made 67,000. December came, I made like 50-some thousand. January came, I went down to 20. I said, don't trip, no problem. February came, I went down to like 10. I said, don't trip, no problem. March came, I hit 105.
Come on, baby.
April came, I hit 70,000. May came, I hit 60,000. And I'm doing 40, 50, 60, 70, 40, 50, 60, 70, 40, 50, 60, 70 for the next 4 years. Like clockwork, like clockwork. I went from that Airbnb in summer 2020. Summer 2020 came around. Summer 2021 came around. I moved into a penthouse in the Gulch in Nashville, Tennessee.
Come on, baby.
Laid. So I went from the Airbnb to the penthouse. I remember I turned in that rental car. Later in the end of 2020, I went and bought an Infiniti Q50 cash. I'll never forget. It was like a drug deal. I went to the bank and got the money, met the dude in the AutoZone parking lot. I'm like, give me the title. Here's the money. Do-do-doom, drove off.
Right.
2021 ends. We're now in 2022. My mentor says, Alex, you need to move to Atlanta, Georgia because it's more of a city for our people. I says, okay, no problem. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm moving to an even nicer high rise. 2022 goes around. I said, I need to upgrade my car. I went and bought a Maserati Gran Turismo CMC cash. 30 days later, I went and bought an Aston Martin Vanquish 1-of-1 Velocity AP Power Kick, paid $200,000 for it, cash.
Oh, that's out.
And bro, this all came from that attitude and that process that I developed when I was at the Airbnb broke and had nothing. See, people hear me talking about the money and the tangible things and this and that, but they don't understand is when I was at the lowest, I was at the highest.
Come on.
When I was at the lowest and had nothing, I had the best attitude on earth. Most people right now are in a bad situation, but you don't understand that's the gift God is giving to you to learn how to flip that to take you to the life that you want. If you're in a bad situation right now, congratulations. Most people squander opportunities of adversity. This is why I said the greatest opportunity in our time was COVID-19.
Come on.
Well, how was COVID the greatest opportunity? You were locked in your house. They told you couldn't go outside. You couldn't do nothing. A lot of you got fired. A lot of you got let go. And here it is at the house, and most people made excuses. I became a champion. Most people could have became a champion during COVID. You could have started that business on the side. You could have started that online boutique. You could have did this. You could have did that. It was an opportunity for you to think differently and for you to think outside the box and start something. I became a millionaire in COVID.
Amen, bro.
That ugly money.
I didn't squander opportunity.
Your story's so close to mine, bro. I'm just listening because it sounds like you talk about me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, COVID was the greatest. People talk about COVID. COVID was the greatest thing that ever happened. I'm glad it happened.
Me too.
Thank God it happened. Thank God they locked me in my house.
I wouldn't mind if they did it again.
If they did it again, I would come up even harder. Please shut down the world again to put me in the house. I'm gonna come out a champion. So for everybody watching, the adversity is the advantage. You don't understand. Whatever hardships and problems and bullshit that you got going on right now, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to mold yourself into something that can't be broken. So that's Alex Inman, man. I'm a guy who put his heart and soul into personal development, pushing, not depending on nobody to give me anything, and I went out and became something of myself. Nobody is giving me nothing, not $1. Nobody's giving me not $1 from a company or a paycheck for the past 12 years. I've worked for every single dollar.
Amen, brother. Now, baby, when Adam hit me and he said your name, I said, come on. You know, because, I'm a fan of your work.
I appreciate it.
And I've checked out, just bits and pieces as well as a couple of full interviews, and I'm like,
right,
that's a brother that understand. He figured something out, and he's willing to share the game with somebody else.
That's right.
If they only listen.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because I remember one of the clips that I watched. You said, listening to myself got me where I'm at.
Right.
And I was like, sometimes we don't need to listen to ourselves. Sometimes we need an outside source. Sometimes we need a coach.
That's right.
Talk to me about coaching.
Yeah, man, my whole career has been based on coaching. And I'll take you back a little bit. I was telling this, I did a podcast a few days ago, and I was telling the young gentleman about what was the moment that changed my life. The moment that changed my life was when I first had gotten to college, and here it is, I'm this guy that's going to college. I was going to a college named Gordon College in Barnesville, Georgia. It's JUCO. I don't know if anybody know anything about that, but it's way down there in Barnesville. And here it is. I'm on campus. I'm selling shoes. I'm painting Air Force Ones and Jordans. That's how I'm making money on the campus. And
that boy hustler.
Bro, I was gonna do whatever it took, bro.
He got out the mud, boy.
Bro, I did not care. And then I had my entire basement in my mom's house as studio of painting shoes. So here it is, I'm painting shoes, I'm doing this, and man, I never forget, a dude invited me to a meeting to meet his mentor. This was 2008. So this was start of the journey. Long story short, man, he invited me to this meeting to meet this gentleman, and this gentleman was a multi-millionaire. And I never forget going to the meeting, and I'm hearing this gentleman talk about his story, and I'm hearing him talk about all these philosophies that I've never heard before. He's talking about how he used to read this book called Think and Grow Rich. I'm like, what's that? What's Think and Grow Rich? And he's talking about this book called The Magic of Thinking Big. And then he's talking about these books called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Come on.
And then he's talking about all these philosophies. He used to say things like, you know, the only difference between a big shot and a little shot is a big shot is a little shot just kept shooting. And he used to say things like, you're going to be bad before you're good and good before you're great.
Hey, man.
And he used to say things like, how you do anything, how you do everything. And now here I am at this seminar, I'm listening to this dude. I'm like, hold on. So you mean to tell me it's possible for me to be more than what my friends and family are? Is that what you're telling me? So you mean to tell me that if I develop myself, I read these books, I internalize everything from these books, I get a coach, I get a mentor, you mean to tell me I can be something one day? Got it. See, the issue is most people come across stuff like that. Most people come across mentors or books and seminars that tell them they can be more than what they are right now. But the issue with 99.9% of people is they don't believe it. I did. I drank the Kool-Aid. I tell people all the time, you need to be as gullible, as stupid as possible, because your gullibility can make you believe that you can actually do something, and when you believe it, you'll put the work in to go out there to get the result.
You know, in order to be a successful entrepreneur,
right,
a lot of times we have to be delusional.
That's right.
Because this goal is so far-fetched, this dream is so far-fetched, and so many people actually access it and make it, that you almost have to psych yourself out to believe, like, no, I'm gonna be rich for real.
That's right.
You know, and my situation, I was a 4-figure brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Working on being a 3-figure brother.
That's right.
And there was a certain level of delusion. I'm like, I'm going to build my own company, and we're going to have our own platforms and do our own things and our own tours. And you know, a year and a half, COVID.
That's right.
COVID. I had time to sit at the house and formulate these plans.
That's right. I was in the house.
Yeah.
I was in the house planning to take over the goddamn world.
Come on,
bro.
man. Me too. I was right there with you.
Bro, I was like, it's a wrap. When they opened these doors, it's a wrap.
And we was needing a haircut while we was doing it.
That's right. I had a beard, wolf, and everything, and I'm talking about taking over the goddamn world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know, and so, you know, anytime I see somebody that has built something of their own, I always salute that person, because I know that they just got done going through hell.
That's right.
And they went through a whole lot of cold nights. They went through a whole lot of nights not getting paid, of doubting themselves, of unsurety. They just went through hell to get to the point where I see them shine.
That's right.
And so, man, that's why it's a blessing to have you here, brother, because you help people shine.
That's right.
you help people access that other gear.
That's right.
That some of us have. We just didn't know that we got that sixth gear.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's where I believe a coach comes into play, because a coach, a great coach can bring something out you that you didn't know you had anyway.
That's exactly what they do.
Oh, man. Alex Inman is here, ladies and gentlemen. Should have charged you Negroes more money. Man, and you know, like I said, brother, I've been watching your content for a while, man, and I've just been soaking up the game myself. You get a lot of comparisons to Kevin Samuels.
Right.
You know, other than appearance, what do you say about those things that people compare you to the Godfather?
Yeah, I see why they compared me to the Godfather, because Kevin was one of my mentors. He's the reason why I'm in Atlanta.
Please tell me.
I got a year worth of mentoring from Kevin.
Come on, man. Oh, so you was in there with the Godfather.
Bro, listen.
Come on, you got to tell me about the Godfather.
My first consultation call, he broke me down, bro. I was depressed for like 3 days, bro. I'll never forget that call. He just broke. I'm just talking to him, and he just sitting there listening, and then he went on his rampage like he do with people.
Right.
And I'm like, hold on, I didn't think this was called supposed to go like this. I'm like, hold on, I called to get advice. I paid you, and it was the complete opposite. And what he did was he made me realize that my thought process was off. And what do I mean? Just because I had made a little money, had a little bit stuff going on, I still was off. There was things that I still needed to work on. So opposed to getting in my feelings, getting upset and this and that, I said, I'm going to take what he told me and I'm going to apply it. And then when I applied it, I'm going to come back. And I would do the consultation. I did another consultation call. And he gave me more game. It didn't come off the nicest way, but I took it. And then I did another one. And then I did another one. And as he's just talking to me, he's just molding me. He just giving me game. One of the things he told me, he says, Alex, why are you in Nashville, Tennessee? I'm like, why? I mean, this is where I build my business, this, that. So you trying to become somebody, right? Right. Well, you need to move to a city where people are somebody.
Come on.
And I'm like, damn, I don't want to up and move. I got this fly-ass condo and this and that, But I was like, you're talking to somebody who's light years ahead of you, who can see farther down the road than you can. You're back there down the road. He's up here. Obviously, he knows a little more than me. And I said, you know what? I'll move. I never forget. I packed my house up in 1 week.
Free game alert.
This was June 2022. Packed my condo up. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. This is what happened. Within 6 months moving to Atlanta, Georgia, my life took a meteor rise. What do I mean? I came down here and I met all these people. And then I leveled up my actual life. I got better cars. I got better people around me. I reconnected with my best friend of 12 years moving down here. All these things happened within 6 to 10 months of me moving to Atlanta, but I couldn't see it because I was so busy using my own brain and my own mind. But the whole point of a mentor is because they can see the court that you're on.
Exactly.
They're on the outside of the court, so say they can see how the play is moving. You can't see how the play is moving because you're one of the players. So me moving to Atlanta, it shot my life up. It didn't even take a year. Within a few months, my life went to the next level. So when it comes to Kevin Samuels, I thank that brother for just really giving me that one thing to do. He told me to shift my environment. He used to always tell brothers to get out your city. Most people are stuck in an environment that's not even conclusive for them to be able to have success. So just that one thing me doing, which is shifting my environment, changed everything in my life. My business got better. Here's one of the big issues. I thought because my business was based in Nashville, I thought I wasn't going to be able to really make money moving to Atlanta. Right. I came to Atlanta and made more money. It was the opposite. So to that brother Kevin, man, it broke my heart when you left, but bro, I took the advice you gave me. That's why my life is better. Most people, they can't even take the advice and apply it. I told you in the beginning, I'm a very gullible person. So I just take the advice and run with it. So I took the advice and my life has been on a meteor rise ever since.
Long to the Godfather, man.
That ugly money.
I never had the opportunity to meet Kevin or speak to him, but like so many millions of other, a lot of us, his words definitely turned on a light bulb. I feel like Kevin Samuels definitely started a conversation or popularized a conversation that is still going on to this day.
Right.
And that's why his name is still held in high regard amongst the people that, respect the truth.
Right.
The things that he was most popularly known for the things that he said about women.
Right.
The accountability, the truthfulness, the light sharing that he gave to women.
Right.
And I picked up some of your game with that too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The greatest, I would say, plights of modern women today. Mm-hmm. What would you feel that is with these women of modern times?
Oh, it's very simple. The guy that they want, there's only a few of them. So if you take 100% of women and you take 100% of men, 80% of women want 20% of men. The math ain't mathing. And what do I mean they want 20% of men? Well, they want somebody who's making a little money. Most women like somebody who's attractive because they don't really want to sleep with somebody they're not that attracted to, so you got to be attractive. To even be able to sleep with that woman, you got to have a mouthpiece of some sort, so you got to have some charisma. So hold on, so you need to have money, you actually got to be relatively attractive, and you got to have charisma. You just knock down majority of the population of men. So when modern women out here talking about there's not enough men, this and that, yeah, it's not. It takes a long time to be able to make money. It takes a long time to be able to become charismatic, and it takes a long time for a guy to grow into himself to become attractive. Most dudes are still in that process. So when you get to the point to where you want to get a guy who has all those things, why he looking for you? Why would he be checking for you?
Hey.
It's like, hold on. So I done all this stuff all these years because most women got to understand is a guy really doesn't become into himself until he's about 35 plus. This is what most women don't understand. They want somebody, they want somebody to fit the criteria that they want, which is young, tall, rich, big penis, all these things in one. I'm like, those guys are with the baddies. They're with the baddies. If you're a guy who knows he can get all this, he's going for the pick of the litter, not average. Why would he do that?
I don't know.
It's like, let me ask you a question. If you had enough money to buy a brand new car, why would you go get a used one with a whole bunch of miles? No, I'm just gonna get the brand new one. The way I ain't gotta have deal with all the bullshit with.
Facts.
See, most people don't understand this. Life is common sense. If you can just use common sense in everyday life and everything that you do, the way I got good with women was using common sense. See, the issue with most guys, we'll flip it. The issue with most guys is they look at what's going on today with modern women and they complain about the modern women. That's like a player going on a basketball court and he travels and he complains about traveling. Or he double dribbles or he complains about double dribbling. No, nigga, learn how to play the game. So what I did was I learned how to play the game. How did I learn how to play the game? I said, I'm gonna get fucking rich. So none of these chicks can ever say anything ever. I'm gonna go get ripped and in shape.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go hit the gym and I'm gonna get in phenomenal shape. Yeah. I'm gonna learn how to speak and be charismatic. I'm gonna remove the word out of my vocabulary, out of my vocabulary, and I'm gonna speak with precision, precise, and I'm gonna be a very articulated gentleman. And I'm gonna have all these things going for me. And when I pop out, I'm gonna show niggas. They don't want to become a good player in the game. They complain about the game. So this is why when I give dating advice, dudes come in the comments, oh, simp this, simp that, simp this, simp that. I'm like, homeboy, you ain't even got 10 grand in the bank, G. If you want to take a woman on a date, you worry about what the bill is. Hold on, let me look at the menu. Bro, you can't even go out and take a woman out and enjoy yourself because you're worrying about her trying to get money out of you, her trying to get you and this and that. You not finna get me. I ain't no simp. Nigga,
talk that talk, brother.
like, bro, no. Become a better player in the game. So that way, the rules don't apply to me. I go on a date, it wouldn't matter what the bill is. Doesn't matter. You go on a date, you tripping on the bill. I go on a date, I pull up in a supercar, V12. Fastest shit on the lot, fastest shit on the street.
Skirt, skirt.
You pull up in what the fuck ever you pull up. We go to the restaurant, we go to the bar, we have a good fucking time. We get whatever. You go to the bar, you like, hold on now, don't do this, don't do that. Bro, it's levels. I just learned how to become a good player in the game because I use common sense. And I said to myself, it's gonna take time. It's going to take time to build yourself. And most guys understand is, listen, if I continue to work and build myself, this is why I talk about personal development so much. This is why I talk about all those years I hit the gym and I wasn't in shape. All those years I was a sales guy on the sales floor, and all the money I had was I had enough money to go get me a Zax snack at Zaxby's. He know, my guy right there, he was with me. Bro, he was with me when I had baggy suits. I had a baggy suit. I was driving a Ford Fusion.
Come on.
I had no money, and here it is. We getting our notepads, and we're getting ready to go to the field for the day to pitch people to buy satellite television. That's how I started. So most dudes, they make excuses versus just getting better, bro. Just get better. Don't worry about all these standards and all the things that women are asking for right now. Become the guy that they're asking for. That's the mentality they need.
I love the fact that a lot of people didn't know that Kevin Samuels held men accountable just as well as he held women accountable. And, of course, you know, they all got triggered on the women's stuff. But in my opinion, he was way more hard on men,
right?
Because I believe that brothers have a way, well, the guys that are destined for greatness, they have a way to be able to look in the mirror. A lot of people can't look in the mirror and say, I need to change this. You know what? This isn't good. I can do better with that. You know what I'm saying? Like myself, for instance, I was broke. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Most of us, yeah. I
need to change that. Right. So I need to do the things that are necessary for me to change this situation. Then I got money, right? Now it's like, okay. Right. Now I'm out of shape. Right. Guess what I'm doing? I'm changing that shit. Right. That's why my fat ass be in the gym now. Right. And so I think part of the fact of going up that ladder of success is being able to look in the mirror and be real with yourself and say, hey, I need to get better in this area. And I think sometimes women are like, no, accept me how I am. And I'm like, bitch, nah.
They wouldn't accept me how I was.
Exactly.
If I was the Alex from 10 years ago, you not accepting me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's conditional. It's all conditional. People are conditional. So nobody on planet Earth can be like, accept me as I am. Nobody accepts them as they are. You accept the person based on what you like about that person, and if you don't like certain things about that person, you don't accept it.
Exactly. And you know, women, at least modern women, I think they think that they're perfect just the way they are. And unfortunately, you know, Jesus died on the cross. He didn't die in Clayton County. That's
Clayton County.
That's one of mine. Let's move forward, brother. A lot of things going on in the world today. We're in an election year.
Right.
So, you know, the economy has been up and down and a roller coaster. And I've never heard so many people cry broke as I have this year. This has been definitely different. I remember the recession of 2010 because I was getting out the military. You know, people were down then. But this one is a little different. Right. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of people are in financial shambles. Do you think that once this election is finally finished, that the economy will look better?
Absolutely not.
Help ain't coming.
I mean, People got to understand, history repeats itself. We've been in a recession. We've been in a recession, and it's came back up. We've been in a recession, and it's came back up. It's been in a recession, it's going to come back up. It's going to be like that until the end of time. It's going to be like that when we're dead and gone. Everything, there's something called the law of polarity that most people don't understand. The law of polarity states that everything has an opposite. So whatever goes up must come down. There's no light without darkness, no left without right, there's no in without out. Even if it were to go up, it's coming back down anyway. So the point is why are you worrying about something that's going to come down and go up and come down and go up and come down and go up? How about you just get better so you're always up?
Amen. Become recession proof.
Right.
That's off him 500. How do we become recession proof?
Well, it's going to start with a person's mindset. It's because if a person doesn't have a belief in themselves that I can do better, that I am willing to try, that I know that I have what it takes to have a better situation, if a person doesn't have self-belief in themselves to do better, there's no hope because they're not going to put the actions in to do better anyway.
You know, it's interesting because people think it's like some deep thing.
Nah, man, there's no secrets.
You know,
there are no secrets.
It's some hidden jewel to success, and it's just like, bro, just do the damn work.
Just try.
I've failed more times than people have tried.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? There's been so many times that I've tried something new, failed at it, tried it again, failed at it, tried 5 more times and failed at it. By the time that person tries one time, they fail at it and they want to quit. I'm like, bro, I done failed 6 times by the time you tried.
Right.
I got it right on the 7th one, and a lot of times all you got to do is get it right one time.
And most people understand all those tries was all the practice that you need for when the right time came.
And you know what's crazy about that is the fact that every time you fail, you learn a lesson that you can therefore monetize and teach somebody what not to do.
That's right.
That starts the coaching
all
business.
those failures that you had, man, it was just you shooting in the gym. It was just you doing warm up. It was warm ups. That's all it was. So for the people out here who we're going into this election year and they don't have any hope, here's some advice. Put all your hope into you. All your hope into you is because the only hand you can depend on is the one at the end of your wrist. There's nothing that this election that can do that's going to take you from zero to hero. Like the election is not going to put you in it's not going to change your zip code. It's not going to take your income. It's not going to 10X it. None of that stuff's going to happen. Like, you got to do that. So people, I'm not saying don't worry about the president-elect and who to vote for and this and that. Just put more belief and energy into you. More energy and belief into you and what you're doing.
There it is. People be thinking this is some secret. Because that's what people always ask me, like, bro, how'd you do it? I just did it.
Just tried.
I just, I wish I could tell you some secret passageway to make money or be successful or build a company. It's just going to work, putting one foot in front of the other. And the days that you don't want to go, you go harder because those are the days that you're really gonna really see.
You stack the wins.
Right. And they think it's just like some secret code. But remember Mortal Kombat? I remember when Mortal Kombat come on, you got a certain period of time where you could put this code in to make your player better. That shit don't happen in life, my nigga.
So don't.
You gotta keep on playing.
Gotta keep playing.
You know what I mean? Like, and eventually you gonna get a win, my brother.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The candidates. We got Trump and we got Kamala.
Right.
What do you think about our choices?
Well, me personally, I like Trump because he's a businessman. And what most people don't understand is America's a business. So let's look at the two candidates, right? You got Kamala Harris. Yeah, she has a background of being an attorney, this and that. But Trump took a company from a couple million to billions. See, people will talk about Trump and be like, oh, he had his dad. Like, hold on. If your dad would have leave you with this huge company, could you turn it into billions? Like, so people say stupid stuff like that. It's like, do you know how hard it is to take a business to that level. So since America is a business, it's only right to have a businessman run it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's simple. America's a business. So having somebody who, and plus he's already done it before. He's already done it. It's not a rodeo. He did something for 4 years. He has a track record of doing something for 4 years. Versus somebody coming in who may be a good candidate. She has to learn all this stuff that she hasn't went through going through them 4 years. He done already been there, done that.
He looked like a gangster when he got shot at, though.
Bro, come on, man. And then they shot him and he got up. Oh, my God. Y'all,
that joke world,
bro, he's unstoppable, bro. He is unstoppable. That shot to the ear just solidified him. They're like, oh, my God. We got to vote for this dude.
Trump a gangster, man.
He's a gangster, bro. because here's the reality, everybody. This man is putting his life on the line. He almost got his head blown off on national TV. Like, come on. Wow. Most people wouldn't put themselves in the line of fire like that.
Heck no.
So I got respect for the man. I don't know the man personally, right. So I can't have this strong opinion about him because I got my own life to live. I'm not too much worried about what other people are doing. So when people ask me certain stuff about certain stuff, I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Like, I can tell you what my business made last month. All the other shit y'all talking about, don't know, don't care. Because if it's meant to be, it's up to me. But personally, Trump's a better candidate.
Yeah. You make a valid argument. It's not even a debate for me. It's which one is the lesser of two evils. Nobody's going to ever be perfect.
Right.
Kamala's not perfect. Trump's not perfect. Mm-hmm. They both say stupid, idiotic things.
That's right.
I will say this, that I am very glad that Biden went ahead and stepped aside.
Right.
That's the one thing I can be totally supportive of. Right. I'm like, hey, man.
Yeah, I mean, his health was going down.
Yeah,
and you gotta, like, if you're gonna be president, you have to almost be as good of a quick thinker as anybody, any high professional in any sport. Like, you got to be aware, you got to be quick on your feet, and you got to do all this is because there's thousands of things coming at the president day in, day out. They got to make decisions all day. So you need to be alert to make decisions. You got to be quick on your feet to make decisions.
For sure.
So with Biden, everybody's seeing his health going down. It was just a matter of time. It's like, brother, listen, I respect for him for doing that, though.
Sure.
Because he understands that he needs to be in a position to where he needs to take care of his health. And listen, he ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. You know, he needs to go take care of his health and live the rest of his days.
Yeah, and one thing we can't escape is Father Time. He undefeated.
That's right.
You know, eventually Father Time. Well, you can try to elude him as long as you want to, but
that's right.
Eventually he gonna catch up with you if you're lucky to live that long. For sure. Now, I want to go back to entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. Because, in today's climate, everybody's starting up a new business. You got so many small businesses, upstart companies, and things of that nature. What are some keys to starting that business from zero and at least getting it up?
That's a great question. The first thing I would say is there's certain rules in business that people need to understand. And the number one rule in business that I've discovered over my entrepreneurial career is speed. Everybody who's listening, understand this. The number one rule in business is speed. You have to move quickly. Whatever idea or project or business that you want to start, you have to do it now, today. You got to move right away. It's because all the stuff that you got to learn in the business, you're going to have to go through that process anyway. So the guy who starts his business on Monday has a upper hand on the guy who started his business on Saturday. He has 6 days of knowledge ahead of him. He has 6 days of potential to make money ahead of him. He has 6 days of clients to talk to ahead of him. So how'd you get to where you are? You just started. Me, I didn't have no money, but I just used what I had and I started because I had to walk that green mile anyway. So for everybody watching, whatever your business is, it doesn't even really matter what the business is. Start it right away. Second thing, try to start a company that doesn't require a lot of capital. is because the number one fuck up in business is losing money. That's the number one mess up. So if you get into a business that does not require a lot of capital, you don't lose nothing. It's because there's not a lot of money coming out. Here's business, everybody. Money in, money out. That's it. That's business in a nutshell. A business that has money going out goes out of business. A business that has money coming in stays in business. So for everybody that wants to start a business, make sure that there's more money coming in than there's more money going out. So you will have people out here that I talk to people all the time. Says, yeah, well, I got to start this business, and, I got to go get, I was just talking about my business, for instance, real estate. People be like, yeah, so I got to go get a real estate license and this and that, and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, bro, it's going to take you 10 weeks to go get that real estate license, and then you got to pay for it, and then you got to sit in class, and then you got to do this, and then you got to do that, and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, bro, you negate rule number one, and you're spending money. Like, no, you don't have time. You got to move quickly. This is how I even got in the business I was in. I never forget, it was January 2020 when I was formulating this plan and starting this little wholesaling thing. I'm talking to my coach, mentor / friend for many years. I said, all right, Chef Boy, what I need to do? He says, go watch all my YouTube videos. I said, great. Boom, got off the phone, went and watched it. That was free. Called him back. I said, what I need to do now? He says, you need to go look for houses in neighborhoods that seem like they're vacant, boarded up, distressed, or vacant. I says, okay, great. The next morning, Sunday morning, I jumped in my car and I went in neighborhoods of Nashville, Tennessee, and I wrote down houses on my notepad. That was free. I want you to think about it. I incorporated rule number 1 and rule number 2. I did it right away, and it was free. So as each week and month went on, I worked the business. Yeah, there was little things I need to pay for, software here and there, this and that, but it wasn't these astronomical prices or getting these business loans or all this shit people talking about doing. So I took what I had until I started to develop the skills of working the business to where it started to make money. This is why I had the rise that I did, was because here it is. I make $70,000 in a month, and my expenses is $1,500.
You stay in business forever like that.
Right. I've been doing the same thing going on 5 years. Why? It's because my expenses are low. I got into a business to where my expenses is down here and the income potential is through the sky. So for everybody watching, get into something where you ain't got to spend a lot of money, but you can start right away. Now here's the thing. If you got a little bit of money, great, spend it. Launch it off the ground. If it costs a few $1,000s, no problem. Launch it off the ground. But not nothing that's going to break the bank or have you on the street. So whatever business idea, do it today.
Before we get out of here, I got a show. It's called Trigger Alert. It's pretty popular. We talk to women, and we have a nice little, spat.
Right.
And a lot of the guys that watch it are, I guess, try to understand how to have more luck with women.
Right.
Right. And how to get through to their woman if they already have one.
Right.
Keys to getting through to women.
Keys to getting through to women. So it's two aspects to that question. So you got a guy who's single, and then you got a guy who already has a girl. Right. So I'll speak for the guys who are single, because I think there's probably more guys that are single than actually have somebody. Well, keys to getting through to a woman, if you're single, is she has to be more attracted to you than you are her. So how do you have that dynamic? Well, you got to become attractive, bro. Here's a secret of mine. I don't holler at women. I haven't hollered at a woman in probably 3 years. I'll say about two years. I haven't approached a woman in 2 years.
Let them pick you.
They have to, because I'm not coming to you. Because most people be like, oh, that's misogynistic. Hold on. So I need to holler at you to take you on a date, to pay all the bills, to put my life on the line, and I still got to holler at you to do all that? So I got to approach you to take you out to spend all my money. And if we get together, I got to pay all the bills. And then if somebody breaks in the house, I got to go fight the nigga. Why would I approach you? I'm the one with all the assets. That's why I don't approach women. It's because if a woman gets with me, I'm paying for everything. I'm taking care of everything. I'm a protector. I'm a provider. I'm doing all the shit. So a guy who's single, bro, you gotta listen, man. I call it the Fantastic Four. I came up with this a while back. Every guy needs to become the Fantastic Four, which is the 4 C's: cash, cut, clout, charisma. So let's break it down. Cash, you can't be broke, G.
Facts.
It's the reality. I don't care what planet you live on. I don't care how you're trying to spin it. I don't care how many times you go on the court and yell double dribble is bullshit. No, it doesn't matter. You can't double dribble, bro. It's the rules of the game. The rules of the game is the least amount of cash you have, the least amount of access you have, and the least amount of things you're gonna be able to do. Here's the thing when it comes to money. The least amount of money you have, the least amount of chicks you get. You're not getting the bad chicks. You can hang that up. I don't care what nobody tell you. There's dudes out here telling oh, I got all the game in the world, bro. All the game in the world doesn't even get you in the environments of the badass chicks, G. Beautiful women talk to dudes. They're not necessarily getting handed money out here, but they're in environments where dudes have money. So you need to get your cash right. 2, you need to get cut. You need to have some type of physical presence going on about yourself, G.
Better.
Because if you think it's just about, oh, I got a whole bunch of money, but I'm just some piece of shit, no, bro. Go get cut. Number 4, you need some clout. This is what you don't understand, bro. There's something called social, I would say, what's a good word I'm looking for?
Social currency.
Social currency, right? A woman will like a man more if he's respected by other men.
Facts.
So I tell guys all the time, you want to know what's one of the greatest tools to build your clout in 2024? Well, it's simple. It's the #1 dating app in the world. What's that? Instagram. Instagram is the #1 dating app in the world. Most people are like, well, what do you mean? No, it's not. Of course, you don't agree because you got 16 followers, 24 photos. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. Ain't no women checking for you. You have no clout. Of course it don't matter to you. This is why I tell every guy, you need to take every single day building your Instagram. I don't care how much money you got. You can, if you got an iPhone, you can do portrait mode and take nice photos. You can get your friends that takes nice photos. You can take stories about what's going on with your day. You can get on camera and start speaking and talking. It's because when we go out in the world and when we meet people, people aren't asking for your business card. They're exchanging what? Instagrams. Instagram is the biggest tool in the world. Bro, I love Instagram. I forgot who I was telling the other day. I said I'm gonna crush this Instagram thing. Yeah. I love it. I love that app. Listen, I got a couple videos that's going viral, right? And a lot of people are in my comments saying, why are you so aggressive in the comments? It's because I'm protecting my page. If you think you can come on my page and talk shit, I'm going to shoot you. It's almost like if a person were to break into your house, right? What you doing? You going to shoot them, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, if you break into my virtual Instagram house, I'm going to virtually shoot you. Because I know how powerful this thing is. I know how powerful it is. So I don't play about my IG. It's because it's the resume to the world. So the fastest way for you to be able to have some type of clout is to have a great Instagram page. And then 4, charisma. Bro, if you're man, listen. There's this thing out now called the Pop the Balloon Show, right? And you watch it, right?
Yeah.
One of my biggest pet peeves when I'm watching it is I'm watching these dudes who sound like kids when they're talking. It's like you can't even get your point across, bro. You 30 years old, and the woman asks you, well, how do you feel like this and this and that? Well, shawty, like, bro, come on, man. Come on, bro. Learn how to talk English. Most people haven't even mastered the language that they are taught from when they were kids. So learn how to communicate. How did I get better learning how to communicate? About 3 years ago, I used to say and a lot. I used to do this. And I used to watch a guy who taught how to get that out. And what he said was, start thinking before you talk and just start pausing. So now when I talk, if a person even goes in my stories right now, I pause a lot. I get my point across and I pause because I don't want to trip over my words. I want it to come out precisely and clearly. And I'd rather me talk slowly than sound like an idiot. So I just started practicing day after day after day. I practiced on Instagram. Grab the phone and I just start talking, until the point to where I was able to speed it up. And my words are now coming out smoothly, clearly, precisely. They flow. I don't have to worry about knowing everything. That's what a guy needs to be able to learn how to talk. So the Fantastic Four: get some cash, get cut, get some clout, get some charisma.
Yeah, it is.
That's how you get. That's how you attract the woman out here.
That's how you get them.
Now, for the guys who have a woman, if you aren't doing on a daily basis what's going to gain your woman's respect, then it's only a matter of time before she leaves, bro. Most dudes get love and respect confused. They think because their chick loves them that they won't leave them. No, bro. Who gives a fuck about love? You need to have your chick respect you more than love you. So it's about respect. So any dude who has a woman, you need to just focus on respect. Well, how do you focus more on respect? Fantastic Four.
Come on.
The Fantastic Four is no different from what if you was a single guy. A woman will respect the dude who's making some money. A woman's going to respect the dude who's in shape. A woman's going to respect the dude who has some charisma. A woman's going to respect the dude who's looked up by other men. That's what a dude needs to focus on.
Yeah. There you have it, brothers. Alex Inman, man. Yes, sir. Before we get out of here, brother, please let them know where they can tap in with you at, what you got coming up, what they can expect from you in the future.
Absolutely, guys. You can reach me at Instagram. Instagram, the greatest tool on earth, at Alex M. Inman. That's AlexMinman. I'm almost on my phone 24/7. Every single day, all day. And that's where you can get my content, where I talk about relationships, I talk about entrepreneurship, mindset, just everything you could think of to becoming a better man. That's what I talk about. Right now, I have my real estate business that I do, but I also have a coaching program to where I coach literally everything that I've learned in my 12-year entrepreneur career. So I have two programs right now. Right now, I have what's called my mid-level, which is I teach guys just how to get a better mindset. Like what I just talked about in this hour segment is 15 years worth of work.
Facts.
So I pour into these young guys and teach them everything they need to know about mindset, and then I help them with their fitness and nutrition. That's my mid-level program. So if a guy wants to be able to get in shape, get his mind right, and just become a better man, hit me for the mid-level program. And then I have what's called my elite level. My elite level is when people who they've already achieved some stuff. They already got some stuff going on, but they want to get to the next level. And this is where I teach business owners how to take their current business and multiply it. Because what most people don't understand is all businesses are the same. All businesses are the same. So I teach them how to take their business, multiply it. I teach them how to build a huge social media platform. Because most people don't understand this. I just started growing my Instagram page in November. I just started in November. And what do I mean just starting in November? I've had my Instagram page since 2012. But all I did was just post photos just like everybody else. I started making actual content in November. And it's going to be consistent day in, day out, day in, day out. So I teach the people on my elite level how to go even further with the business and beyond.
There it is, man. Hey, brother, we can sit here and talk game all day.
All day, bro.
I got to get you to come on this stuff. You got to come on my trigger alert, man. I need some backup.
Bro, listen, bro.
The next time I had it.
Listen, I can come on the show. They're going to have to understand I ain't no scrub. And then I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Because I've watched your show.
Yeah.
And those are great women.
Right.
But I wouldn't even look those women's way.
Come on.
For what? No disrespect to them. It's just like.
Yeah, they're a rambunctious bunch.
Right.
Man, this episode being brought to you by 3 Young Queens, the best shea butter in the world. You can follow them at 3 Young Queens on Instagram. Only thing that keeps my knees and elbows and everything unashy. Go to 3youngqueens.com to get yours today. My name is Ugly Money Nietzsche. You can follow me at Ugly Money Niche. Remember, the bigger the dream, the bigger the risk, the bigger the payoff. This has been the Ugly Money Podcast with Alex Inman. That ugly money.